Hi. You're listening to Echoes from Within, a space where thoughts find their voice.
Rejection, the painful teacher we never asked for. We have all experienced rejection at some point in our lives. Some are rejected by potential employers. Some are rejected by the people they deeply love. Some are rejected by friends. And some experience perhaps the most painful rejection of all, the rejection of their own family. No matter how positive we try to be, let's be honest. Rejection hurts. It stings. It shakes our confidence. And no amount of motivational quotes can instantly heal the disappointment that comes with hearing no. Healing takes time, and it cannot be rushed. Looking back changes everything. Although rejection feels unbearable in the moment, something interesting often happens with time. Years later, when we look back from a place of peace, we begin to see things differently. We start to notice what that rejection actually did to us. The job we didn't get pushed us to develop new skills. The relationship that ended forced us to grow emotionally. The opportunity we lost made room for another one we never would have considered. Sometimes rejection creates a version of ourselves that we couldn't have imagined in our wildest dreams. And that realization often leaves us wondering, why did it take a rejection for me to discover this side of myself? Why couldn't I become this person without going through all that pain? They're fair questions. And unfortunately, life doesn't always give us fair answers. Rejection is often a redirection. When we're hurting, rejection feels like the end of the road. But many times, it is simply a change in direction. A closed door forces us to look for another one. A failed plan forces us to create a better one. A setback pushes us toward growth we would have never chosen voluntarily. If everything had gone according to our plans, many of us would never have developed the resilience, wisdom, and strength we possess today. Sometimes the opportunity we desperately wanted is not the opportunity we truly needed. Do not measure your worth by someone else's decision. One of the biggest mistakes people make after rejection is attaching their self-worth to someone else's opinion. We begin asking, "What's wrong with me? Why wasn't I good enough?" But perhaps a better question is, did I do everything I reasonably could? If your answer is yes, then you have already won something valuable. You showed up. You tried. You gave your best effort. And effort is something nobody can take away from you. Results may arrive later than we want, but genuine effort is never wasted. It is often preparing you for something you cannot yet see. Pain has a strange way of revealing strength. There is a beautiful quote that says, "In pain, we find our greatest power." At first, that sounds impossible. How can pain create power? But if you look closely at the strongest people you know, you will usually find a story behind their strength. A disappointment, a failure, a loss, a rejection. Very few people become resilient because life was easy. Strength is often forged in moments we never wanted to experience. Sometimes it takes a hard fall to discover where we truly belong. Success is built on more than success. People often admire success while ignoring everything that came before it. What they don't see are the failed interviews, the rejected applications, the broken relationships, the sleepless nights, the moments of self-doubt. Success is rarely built on success alone. More often, it is built on overcoming challenges, failures, setbacks, and rejection. Every successful person carries a collection of doors that never opened. What happens next is up to you. Rejection itself does not determine your future. Your response to it does. You can use rejection as fuel to build your strongest self, or you can allow it to convince you that you are not worthy of good things. Think of rejection as a mirror. The mirror itself is neutral. It simply reflects what is placed in front of it. One person sees a challenge. Another sees defeat. One person sees a lesson. Another sees a life sentence. The rejection is the same. The interpretation is different. A small thought to end with. The truth is, none of us ask for rejection. We would all prefer life to go according to plan. But some of the most important chapters of our lives begin with a door closing. So if you are facing rejection today, allow yourself to feel the disappointment. Allow yourself to grieve what could have been. But don't let that moment define your worth. Because sometimes, the rejection that feels like it's breaking you is actually building a version of you that your current self cannot yet see. And years from now, you may look back at the very thing that hurt you the most and realize it wasn't the end of your story. It was the beginning of a new one. Thank you for listening. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it today. You'll find more on my website, link is in the description.